Welcome to the Thyroid Fixer podcast, where we dive deep into the world of thyroid and hormones, especially for you ladies navigating perimenopause and menopause, and really for anyone struggling with hypothyroidism. I'm your host, Dr. Amy, thyroid and hormone specialist and CEO of a global telemedicine practice where we prescribe the right thyroid treatment and bioidentical hormones to all 50 states and most of Canada, helping you become that badass human that you're meant to be. So if you're battling weight gain and hair loss, you can't lose weight no matter what you do, your energy levels are plummeting and your libido left town, then you're in the right place and you have found your tribe. Remember, I want you to embrace every inch of that badass woman that you truly are. So if you're ready to dive in and fix things, let's get started. What is C60 and why do I like it? So first of all, C60 is this powerful little molecule that gets in and neutralizes free radicals and helps lower oxidative stress. So we know that free radicals, oxidative stress, that's what contributes to aging. It breaks down your mitochondria. What does that mean for you? You're going to get tired. You're going to be wrinkled. Your hair is going to fall out. You are going to age quickly. And as your cells age, well, that's where we see diseases come on. Now, the other reason why I like C60 Power is C60 Power, the company, uses 99.99 pure sublimated carbon 60, which means that there are no solvents, no toxic, nasty solvents involved in their manufacturing whatsoever. They are third-party tested. Every single product they make, they are third-party tested. So you can trust that what's on the label is actually what you're getting. Unfortunately, there are many companies out there that produce C60 and they make it with a pretty toxic solvent. So what they'll do is they'll use sunflower oil, which causes inflammation. And then they use this bake-off method, which 95% of the C60 companies out there get their raw C60 from the same place. And that group uses methylbenzene, which is also known as toluene, which is a very toxic industrial chemical in the manufacturing process. And then they bake it off. Do you really want that in your body? Not at all. So that's why I get my C60 from C60 Power. I take it daily, just a teaspoon in my coffee, and I know that it is keeping down massive amounts of inflammation. Headed into cold and flu season, that becomes a staple. Anytime I'm inflamed, I up my dose of C60. I'll take it a couple times a day. If I'm traveling, I'll take the gummies with me, because that helps my immune system. We know what's on a plane. In addition to the radiation that's on the plane, it provides cellular protection from basically all those bombardments that's in our environment, from toxins to radiation to viruses. C60 comes in and just hugs your cells and protects your cells and takes down that inflammation. Also, ladies, it helps with hair growth. Now, I will give this ad nauseum to any patient that suffers with hair thinning or hair loss. And what C60 does in this 2009 study, it was actually shown to promote hair growth because it protects the cells around the hair follicles from that oxidative damage. So whenever we are exposed to oxidation, radiation, toxins, yeah, that affects our hair too. It affects the follicle. So you wonder why your hair is falling out. You wonder why it's breaking off. You wonder why it's thin and brittle. Add in C60 and you will notice a huge, huge difference in all of these things. Yes, I also give it to my dog, Riley, for his joints. My gosh, he's 13. He needs a little bit of extra support. My assistant gave it to her dog, new dog, within 30 days. So if you want a new brain, better energy, better hair, lowered inflammation, maybe improvement in your joints, improvement in your pets, C60 Power is like a no-brainer to add in. So what you're going to do is go to shopc60.com, shopc60.com, and you're going to use the code Dr. Amy, DRAMIE. That's going to save you 10% off anything on their site, from the gummies to all the different oils. You get to choose from MCT and avocado oil, olive oil, great for drizzling on your salads. The MCT and avocado disappears in your coffee. It's super easy. They have a cinnamon too. Addictive in the fall. I'm just saying, put it in your coffee in the fall. Oh my God. So c60power.com, you will be guaranteed to be getting the best. Use the code Dr. Amy at checkout. Do you want something that can actually make you feel more invigorated, less stress, more in control of your body, and protect you from EMF exposure as a stressor, protect you from negative energies out there that are stressors, protecting your mitochondria from stressors, And this goes way beyond EMFs. It's viruses, it's bacteria, it's negativity, it's all the stressors in your environment that impact your cells. They impact aging. They damage cells. They cause oxidative stress. Now, with quantum energy, and I know this might sound woo, but if it sounds woo to you, you have to listen to my podcast with Todd Shipman as we dive deep into the science, the backed science of quantum energy. It's amazing. 59 studies already done and counting that Leela Q, who has been studying quantum energy now for decades, that Leela Q has dove into. They use third-party testing, and they have revealed a remarkable 20 to 29% increase in ATP production, which is vital for the process of your cells. And what they've shown with all of these studies, by harnessing quantum energy, you can give your body a boost and slow down aging. You can even eat foods that you are allergic to. And you're going to hear that in the podcast that I did with Todd. He ate shellfish that he would normally be allergic to. They actually did a test on stage where they put it on his arm, and on the one arm, he reacted to it. On the other arm, that was when they put the food into this quantum block that we talk about. I know, bear with me. He was able to expose himself to that food without an allergic reaction. It's bringing your body and everything in your environment back to what it should be. Neutralizing EMFs, optimizing your HRB, improving your mitochondria. And the list just goes on and on. I even have a dog collar for my dog. I wear the Leela Q necklace whenever I travel and when I'm working. It's just simply amazing. You have to listen to the episode, but you got to go check out their website. This is not woo. I'm telling you, this is backed by science. Backed by science. You're going to go to leelaq.com, LEELAQ. So leelaq.com/thyroid. Use the code thyroid. That's going to save you 10% off everything. I would get the necklace. I would get the infinity block. I would get a dog collar for your dog or your cat. Helps improve signs of aging. It helped improve my dog's back hind legs because he's getting older. Go check out their products. Listen to the podcast. You're going to be blown away, but this is going to up level your healing. And you're going to learn all different kinds of things that you can do, from your food to your supplements to sticking your head in there, your arm, your watch, your earbuds, your phone, pictures of people, pictures of your dog, pictures of people living across the state, and it produces healing. Don't believe me? Listen to the episode, but go check out their products, leelaq.com/thyroid. We're going to talk today about why NDT medication, specifically Armour or NP Thyroid, because those are the two NDT or natural desiccated thyroid medications available right now, why they may or may not be the best for you. So let's start with why they might be really awesome for you. We know in conventional medicine, so many of you are on T4 only, and T4 only does not work. This is your Levo, your Synthroid, Tirosint, Sol. And as great as it is to have some kind of thyroid hormone replacement on board, it is medical malpractice to give someone T4 only. In my opinion, this is not a documented medical malpractice lawsuit, so don't go calling your attorney. But in my opinion, T4 only is medical malpractice because it leaves you in the dust suffering with symptoms, and that's not what life is supposed to be. We're supposed to enjoy life. And if you're walking around 40 pounds overweight, gaining weight, looking sideways at a brownie, that is not the best way to live life. If you're dragging your butt through the day, you can't get off the couch, your hair is falling out, you have no sexual desire whatsoever, you're constipated, you're not pooping every day, you're cold all the time while everyone else is comfortable, your joints hurt, that's no way to live life. So T4 only will do that to you. T4 only will keep you in that hypothyroid state. Unfortunately, that is standard of care. And standard of care in conventional medicine is let's test your TSH. And if TSH is above a 4.5, which is the current cutoff, if TSH is above a 4.5, here's some T4 medication. Here's some Levo. Here's some Synthroid. And that is the massive, massive problem in conventional medicine right now. Now, when we move over to Armour or NP or NDT medication, natural desiccated thyroid, the bonus of and we'll say, hey, some T3 is better than no T3. The bonus of NDT medication is that it does contain T4 and T3 together. Now, it contains this in about an 80-20 split because natural desiccated thyroid medication is literally drying out a pig's thyroid gland, and we're putting it in a capsule. So when we do that, obviously, we're getting a little bit of T3 because our thyroid gland produces T4 and T3 in an 80-20 ratio, roughly. Now, this is not perfect. This is not to a T, science to a T, because there's only so much that we can measure as to what the thyroid gland is producing. But we have it down to about an 80-20 split. So that's what NDT medication is doing. It's mimicking our natural production. So we take the thyroid gland of a pig, we dry it out, we put it in a capsule, we give it to you, and we say, here, this is going to mimic what your thyroid gland is supposed to be doing. Now, if you have Hashimoto's and your thyroid gland is destroyed, it's just not producing T4 and T3 anymore, then absolutely NDT medication is going to be better than T4 only, 100%, hands down. But what if you don't convert? So now I move over into the functional integrative medicine world. And I have said this over and over and over again. Unless you are working with a thyroid expert, and even within that realm, I want you to go a little bit deeper and grill this thyroid expert that you're considering working with. I don't care if it's me or somebody else. You got to ask these questions. If they only do NDT, that can be a disservice to you, and many of them do. So you can't just ask the question, hey, do you treat thyroid naturally? Well, yes, we do. Do you use things other than T4 only, other than Levo and Synthroid? Oh, yes, we do. Okay, do you take symptoms into account, like my symptoms, when you're dealing with hypothyroidism and working to optimize someone? Oh, yes, we do. Now, all of those answers are absolutely correct. However, the one question that you need to ask is, do you only use natural desiccated thyroid? Do you only use Armour thyroid, NP thyroid, or a compounded T4 and T3? And if that answer is yes, I want you to run. If the answer is no, we use other things. Now let's keep going. Do you use T3? Do you use liothyronine? Do you use cytomel? Yes or no? Do you have a cap, meaning an upper limit on how much T3 that you will prescribe? Do you ever combine T3 with natural desiccated thyroid medication? These are vital questions because here's the thing. If you are just put on NDT, while NDT, T4 and T3 is better than T4 only, because you're getting some T3, you're getting some of that active thyroid hormone. If you don't convert T4 to T3 properly, that can be a huge issue. So if all this thyroid expert, integrative functional person does is increase your natural desiccated thyroid dose, so let's put you on Armour, and then let's increase that Armour. Oh, you're not feeling better? Let's increase it again. Let's take it up again. And you're not converting your T4 into T3, or you're pushing up your reverse T3. And if you need to deep dive in that, we have other episodes on reverse T3. We can certainly link those in the show notes. But if you are pushing up your reverse T3, essentially pushing your body into survival mode, that is going to backfire on you. And you're going to be as hypo as you were or could be on T4 only. Because that little bit, that 20% T3 that you're getting in that natural desiccated thyroid medication is not enough to push your reverse T3 down, is not enough to support your thyroid T3, free T3 levels. And all of that T4 is just pushing the reverse and pushing you deeper and deeper into hypothyroidism. The other component to just think about when we are talking about NDT is the fact that it is derived from a porcine thyroid gland. So it's identical to our thyroid gland. Now, let's break down autoimmunity. Let's break down Hashimoto's. And before I do this breakdown, I am going to say this is not the case with everyone. Many thyroid patients are on Armour and on NP Thyroid, and they're doing just fine. And if you're one of them, congratulations. It's awesome. I'm glad to see you in optimization land. So if you are truly optimized, your symptoms are minimal to none. If you are not truly optimized, then you're going to have issues. And it might be the NDT. It might be too much T4. So maybe you're doing okay on that NDT and you just need a little bit of T3 added in because we want to change that ratio. We don't want you at 80-20. We want you at 60-40, 50-50, 40-60 with more T3 on board. Or it could be that your body sees that natural desiccated thyroid medication, follow me here, as your thyroid gland. And since your Hashimoto soldiers are set up to attack your thyroid gland because they think it's a bad guy, they're going to launch an attack whenever you take NDT medication. It's possible. Now, remember what I said. This is not in every single case. So I do not want you to think that just because you are on NDT medication that, oh my gosh, I must not be doing well because when I take it, my soldiers are launching an attack on my thyroid. That's not always the case, but it could be the case. So that is why I am giving you some food for thought that if you are not optimized on NDT, you need to think outside the box and be working with someone who knows what they're doing so that we can get you optimized. I'm checking in with you. How's your energy these days? How's your skin? How's your muscle strength? These are things that are very, very important to me. And I know just from research that after the age of 30, our mitochondria starts breaking down. And these are the powerhouses of the cell that provide us with muscle strength and better skin and abundant energy through the day. So I've added in something that I wanted to share with you, Timeline Nutrition's MitoPure. So when we look into research into healthy aging, it really focuses on that pivotal role that our mitochondria plays in our body. And without our mitochondria working at top notch, then health is just declining. And that's not what we want. Daily wear and tear on a mitochondria is inescapable, but we can do something about it now. Timeline Nutrition's MitoPure is the first supplement that has been clinically shown to replace and rebuild damaged mitochondria. And this results in a boost in cellular energy. And actually, research has shown that individuals experience an increase in muscle strength and endurance without even altering their diet and exercise routine. So, I mean, I can personally attest to feeling the difference. I am now going to ask you to feel the difference. So I invite you to go to timelinenutrition.com. They're giving my community 10% off of MitoPure if you use the code Dr. Amy. So you are going to go to timelinenutrition.com/Dr. Amy and use the code Dr. Amy, DRAMIE. So timelinenutrition.com/DRAMIE and use the code Dr. Amy at checkout. Now, the other kind of roadblock that I see that I mentioned earlier in the list of questions to grill any integrative functional thyroid expert, hormone expert on when it comes to your thyroid is the T3 component. So NDT in and of itself, not bad. It's not a bad thing. How your body deals with it, we need to look at that. Does it cause an autoimmune attack? Does it cause an autoimmune flare? Do you get worse when you take it? Let's dig deeper. Let's see if it's too much T4. And maybe we just have to add in some T3 and change that ratio. Now, when I said the question to ask about a cap on T3, here's what I mean. If you're working with a functional integrative, blah, blah, blah practitioner that says, oh, yes, I will use T3. And then they only give you 5, maybe 10 micrograms of T3. And they go, well, any more than that, you'll have a heart attack or you'll start losing bone. Oh, that TSH that's suppressed. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So yes, I have a cap on how much T3 I can give you because we don't want that TSH suppressed. I have a whole other podcast on suppressed TSH. Literally, I think I have what the hell in the title of the podcast. And I believe it is called Functional Medicine Doctors Freaking Out Over Low TSH, WTH. Because to me, those functional practitioners should not be using the term functional, and they should just go back to their conventional training. Anyone who thinks that low TSH is bad or will cause AFib or bone loss needs their license revoked, or they need to stop touching people's thyroid and leave it to the people that know what they're doing. So many of them will have this cap in their mind of how much T3 they can actually give you, and that's it. So it doesn't matter if you're like me and you need 75 micrograms twice a day, you're getting 10. It doesn't matter if you're like many of my patients who do fantastic on 25, 30, 35, 40, 50 micrograms of T3 twice a day, who are optimal on 15 micrograms twice a day. It is nuanced, it is personalized, and we cannot have a cap on how much T3 we give you, because only you and your body knows. Your body's going to tell us how much T3 you actually need to move into optimization land. So that is another issue that I have with practitioners putting a cap on how much T3 they will prescribe, because that can leave you as hypo as working with a conventional doctor, except you paid the functional one a couple grand and you're still hypo and you still have symptoms. NDT medication is fantastic. It literally was the first thyroid medication we had. Did you know that? The very first thyroid hormone treatment we had was natural desiccated thyroid, dried out thyroid from a pig. And then Big Pharma came in, Synthroid took over. And then all of a sudden, all of these studies on T4 only and T4 monotherapy being just fine to optimize someone's thyroid. And NDT got pushed to the side. Now, though NDT is fantastic and it's better than T4 only, it might not be the perfect solution and treatment for you. Or maybe you need it combined with some T3. Or maybe you don't need it at all and you just need T4 and T3. Or maybe you need T3 only. We don't know, because the thyroid is nuanced. But the purpose of this show and this message is to tell you, please do not just go with a practitioner and think that you are going to be optimized just putting all of this natural desiccated thyroid in your body. It might not. You might cause a thyroid storm. Your soldiers might see that medication as an invader and launch an attack. You might push up your reverse T3. You need to have an open mind and get really dialed in and nuanced with your thyroid hormone replacement treatment, because there's a variety of different combinations that we can do. So whenever I am asked, what's your favorite thyroid medication? I say the one that's going to work for you, in the dose that's going to work for you, in the combination that's going to work for you. And we don't know until we try, and then we test, and we ask you, how do you feel? And we put that all together to really detail out the perfect treatment. So if you are working with someone, you're on NDT, and you're just not feeling your best, ask those questions, see what they say, maybe fire them and get a new doctor if you don't like their answers, or if their answers don't line up with exactly what we talked about today. Now, one last small little component I will leave you with regarding NDT medication. Some people actually react to the fillers in NDT. I get the statement a lot. I want to do thyroid treatment, but I want to be all natural. Now, NDT does have the word natural in the beginning, so that really throws a lot of people off. But the bottom line is, it is a pharmaceutical company that makes it. And short of getting your thyroid medication compounded with T4 and T3, there is no way you are going to avoid fillers in any of them. But I want to put your mind at ease. It's only a small percentage of the hypothyroid population that are really hypersensitive to fillers. So when we are talking about Armour or NP Thyroid, there are fillers in there. They are both made by a pharmaceutical company. So it's not necessarily that the term natural, we always think natural versus synthetic. Well, in the world of hormones, natural bioidentical hormones, a lot better than synthetic progestins, fake equine estrogen that do more harm than good. Yes, in that hormone world, natural versus synthetic, actually, those terms have a place and a meaning. In the world of thyroid, we can't just hyper focus on the word natural because it doesn't necessarily mean that it's all natural. You're still getting fillers in there. So this is where you have to expand your horizons when it comes to thyroid treatment. I actually call T4, so the levosynthroid T3, the cytomel liothyronine, I call those both biosynth, biologically identical, yet synthetic in nature, because they're in that synthetic category, because they're in the synthetic category because they are made in a lab to be identical to the T3 and T4 that your body makes, but we're not taking it from an animal. Biosynth. These biosynth thyroid replacement meds are a beautiful thing. The only way you're going to be T3 only if you need it is with a biosynth, liothyronine, cytomel. The only way that we are going to change ratios, even if we're using NDT med, is by adding in T3, the biosynth. I want you to get out of that mindset. If you're in this mindset, I want to break it right now that natural desiccated thyroid medication is the only way to go. And that it must be natural because it has natural in the title. That's like saying everything that's labeled gluten-free is gluten-free. It isn't. In case that was just a bomb dropped on you, truth bomb, it's not. Just like everything organic is not 100% organic. And I can go into all kinds of arguments to make you see that, but I'll just leave it at that. Natural desiccated thyroid medication is not 100% natural. It contains fillers, and your body may or may not like it. Maybe your body likes it, just needs some T3 added into it. Maybe you need to change altogether. The purpose is to open your mind to the possibilities that are out there to get you into optimization land. And I don't want you pigeonholed with your own thinking. And I don't want you pigeonholed with the propaganda that so many alternative integrative functional practitioners are pushing, because it might not be right for you. When it comes to the thyroid, it's very, very nuanced. You need to be working with someone like myself and my team. Shameless plug, abso-freaking-lutely, because I've seen it. I've seen it too many times. I've had too many patients come into the practice who have dropped thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on really big name thyroid experts, functional practitioners, because they had that term functional medicine in their title and they didn't ask the questions when it came to their thyroid. I want you to be armed with knowledge, all the knowledge that I can possibly give you. I want you to be armed with that so you make the right decision and you don't waste another day feeling like garbage. Keep an open mind to thyroid treatment and know that it is very, very nuanced.